So I'm not sure, guys, I showed you this. I know I mentioned I did paint the sides. I wet sanded it. You just take a very, very like 1,000 grit fine sandpaper, 1,500 grit, and you spray water on it and you sand it. It's really smooth, so you can actually use your scraper on it. I don't know how long the paint's gonna last doing that, but that one's pretty smooth. I hooked up my 2 Kessel lights. This is temporary. I ordered one that's long enough to go down, hide down in the back, and come up this one. But I had this cable here, so I got them both set about where I want them. I don't like these speckle mounts because they keep moving on me. This is just a camera. I was watching my skimmer to make sure it didn't overflow today, which is starting to get little bubbles. That's my quart jester. I'm not using a filter because there's really no reason to. Plumbing comes out the side. I'm using the little Hydar tiny little pump. Remember, this is only 20 long. That pump, I mean, it's like this big. The magnet on the side right there, and it moves water through this whole tank. It's got a nice control. I've showed this before. That's your setting for how much power and what mode it's in, how fast you want it to move. And yes, this is a mess because I just wanted the tank up to cycle it. I ended up going with a different sump than the Reef Octopus one because this sump was the same price, twice the size, right? Twice the size, same price. And it has a 3-gallon freshwater reservoir there. I know you don't usually put your media where your sump is, but I want this open for Chaeto. I put media in there. And where the fill sock is, I also put media down in there. I have this. I bought this light here. I bought this. It's fully waterproof. And I'm just going to stick it right here and put it across and grow Chaeto. Now, this is a little high right now because what's going on here is the tank is cycling and it keeps overfilling the sock like immediately. I am ordering the fleece roll for this. I was gonna do the sock thing. I have a ton of them. I mean, I have like 8 of them. I'm blowing through one every 8 hours. During the cycling, it just keeps clogging it up. But anyways, this is the media I took out of my tank that crashed my tank. All right, 3 big bags there. There's actually even a 4th. The only downfall is when this does a water change. This water is normally down here. It goes under the media halfway and back up. But it's only for about 2 minutes, so it should be fine, especially along with all the other media. And yes, I know that one's blocking the hole right now, but it's forcing water through it. Doesn't seem to be an issue. If this overflows, it comes out of here, which is fine. This is your dosers, which is stupid, all right? It drops this stuff in and it just sits there forever. It doesn't even come over, just sits there. I was going to install a mini little pump to just keep the water circulating, but like even the one that's in there would probably work, but I hate to keep running more pumps. And I'm running a 400 watt heater on 30 gallons of water. And yes, it sounds crazy, but it can barely keep up. This is adjustable. You can just push it down if you want to change your water level in there and pull it back up, and your water level will go back down. But as I said, it's overflowed right now because my sock is clogged. And just so you know, I put that sock in 1 hour ago and it's already clogged. It's because the tank's going through the cycle. I'm going to mount a wall up there to mount all my electrical on. This is all temporary. My light controls on the ceiling here, or my ductwork, because it's magnetic, so it's just easiest place to put it. So I can use the lights in sequence together. That's how they're set up now, so whatever I do with one, it does with both. Or if I want, I can run the outlet on here to this side and have 2 separate controls. So let's say I'm getting new corals in, I can dim this light down but not that one, and I can put these really close so they don't affect each other's sides. So I could have a side for acclimating and then move it to the side that gets brighter. And eventually the whole tank will get brighter, but just saying, it's an option. Or you can just use them together. I thought that was pretty cool. I can fit 6 or 7 of these across with no rock in there, but I am leaving a rock because I have a quart jester living in there. but I'm going to have a whole bunch of these. I also have 2 that stick on the glass for magnets. I might even get a corner one for one of the corners. So we get a bunch of these across here because it's 20 inches long. You can fit quite a few. I might move that rock like back there so it's all right there. I bought the court jester because he cleans sand, but he's such a small fish he doesn't do a great job at it. But he's in there. I have an emerald crab in there, and I have a margarita snail right there. They have all survived the cycling. It's still cycling. I can't even believe they're alive. Alright, so that's enough on this. I'd like to make an acrylic cover for this. I have a piece of acrylic because when I take this cover off, the water evaporates fast. But when I put it back on, it doesn't. Also, by the way, this did not come with 2 inlets for the return. It came with 1. I went to Home Depot. I bought a female adapter, just like this one, but it's a little longer. And I bought the male on the bottom. I made my inside, copied the other one. It's at an angle at the bottom. And then I took the male here. This is the female fitting. My bad. That's female. That was male. And I threaded them together. Now, the problem was, this is a custom fitting that threads all the way together with a seal and goes tight. The male and female you buy will not go tight enough and you'll have a huge gap. So I have gasket material and I know it doesn't look great. One day I'll fix it. I cut out gasket material circles until I got enough so it could go on tight. So now my overflow that I pointed out in an earlier video has 2 drains. One's emergency, one's the secondary, one's the main, one's second. I'm just using them both together as one. I also installed a union here so I can take this line out. I don't glue these ever. So I can just pull the pipe out. Pull the pipe out of that one. That way if I have to move the sump, I can. The return line I did with flex line and I hid it behind it, underneath it, so it's not really noticeable. To fill the freshwater tank, I just stick my nozzle in there and fill it up. But once I get the fleur, that's the ice cap fleur roll with the fleece roll. This is an ice cap sump. This cover is not going to be on, so I'm going to have evaporation. But look at this. It's already at the top level of this. Even if I pull my stuff out, it's already at the top level. It's been in here 1 hour and it's already overflowing. Alright, now it comes with a media basket too, so you could take that and put a media basket, but I'm like, what's the point? Just throw your media in that one. There is no reason not to, because then you'll have filtration. I like that there's covers on everything, and I don't like that they didn't come. It doesn't come with a second cover when you put the fleece roll in, because it's just going to be open, more evaporation. It's still small sump. They say these are good at the 75 gallons. It has probe holders right here, only 3 though. You get your probe holders for the apex, but you're missing one. There's 4 total, but yet there's only 3. My trigger system sump has all 4. I wish that the dosing heads there, all the dosers there, I wish they went into the sump area. That was a big mistake. When it doses alkalinity, it just sits in the bottom for hours before it dissipates. It has to actually evaporate on its own. I know I say these videos are quick, they end up going long. There's just so much to go over all the time. Sorry guys. I want to go over everything thoroughly. Alright, here's my return line. I did like a big one, 2 or 3 inch, I think it's 3 inch. It's a 3/4 line in the back. Glued in. I don't like the thread ends because they can crack. They can crack your ABS. If you put it in tight, it can crack it. I do glue ends. It does mean you cannot take it out without cutting the 90 degree off. But if you ever have to replace this gasket, just so you know, you can stretch it over this and off. You can take this off though. That gasket can be stretched over this flange, and you can stretch a new one over it with no problem. So don't think you can't change your gasket, because you can. That's a temporary skimmer. I think I'm going to use my smaller skimmer, but for right now, it's on there. I don't like how it looks inside, and it always has bubbles, but it was just turned on. We'll see how that goes. And this is brand new and it is accurate. You can't see with all the light, but it's reading 0.05, or yeah, 0.05. It's as high as it's gone, which is still safe for fish. But I have been putting this in a little bit of prime every day to help with downing the biological cycle for the tank and the fish. But if a snail is alive, an emerald crab, and the fish, and they're all doing good, then I don't think they're sick. I have nowhere else to put them. Alright guys, I'm going to end this now. This is long enough. Long enough for rambling. Look at this mess. Alright, we'll see you guys. Have a good day.